So Taurus, right now, this is about a choice. And it is actually a choice through intuition, even if it is the swords, which is often swords are connected with our intellectuality, our mind, our thoughts. But the Two of Swords is often associated with like being orientated towards your body. So you really, for June 2024, you really need to connect to your body in order to get out of that paralysis of like, what do I need to choose, or like the two choices, because the Two of Swords is always associated with having to make an emotional, because you see the water behind them, it's making that emotional choice, or it's getting out of the aspect of making a choice through your emotions. And also it's about blinding your mind, it's about blinding your vision, it's about, because Two of Swords is often, and then by blinding yourself, by blindfolding yourself, you're able to connect yourself to your body in order to make the choices. This is about like literally blinding your mind's ego of like, oh, what's the right choice or what's the wrong choice. And that's where our inner emotional turmoil comes from, our inner conflict comes from. As you can see with the little birds right there, there's this like yin and yang, and this conflict within yourself where you're not able to make a choice. But how we're able to get past that inner turmoil is that occurs when our mind kind of intervenes and is trying to make a choice out of emotions of like what it thinks is good for you or what it thinks you should do. So essentially focus on connecting to your body. If you need to, literally blind yourself so your mind is able to connect to the body and what's correct for you, as in your intuitive sense of the body. The body always knows. Chariot, again, we have a choice, we have a balance. This is also direction in the sense of like to know what direction you need to go, you need to focus on getting to your body, which in turn is going to be literally blinding yourself, not being able to see what you think is the correct choice or not. Because with the two of Swords, it is an either or. On each side there's a sword. With a chariot, on each side there's a horse. So, and with the Two of Swords, there's a contrast of the birds. There's a white bird and there's a red bird. So, and they're fighting. So there's like this inner conflict within yourself, and you're not able to put the two horses on the same path, the same direction, and to orientate yourself in the direction that you actually want to go. You're not going to be able to get to the place that you need to go. So in order to, chariot is oftentimes about like, in order to get direction in your life, you really need to balance your horses. You need to balance your willpower. You need to balance your power, because horses are connected to like the power within us, the freedom we get. And you can see even in this particular card that there's two horses that in the front, they're calm and collected because you have direction in your life. You know where you're going. You received that knowledge with the crown, but behind them, if you don't have that focus, if you don't have that clarity of where you need to go, of how you will get there, and just knowing your true desire of what you actually want will take the step forward. Like, you don't even need to know like how you're going to get there. It's about like, what do you actually want right now? Because essentially, if you don't know, if one horse is going that way and one horse is going that way, you're not going to be able to get anywhere at all. And worst case scenario, your chariot just like collapses and breaks, turns over, because two horses are just like going completely different directions, and you're not going to get anything done at all. And you're going to be at the same place where you will not, because chariot often is about movement and moving forward, but it's about, you have to like ground yourself to your body, ground yourself to like, where do you want the movement? In order to have movement, the two horses have to have the same ideology. They have to be focused on the same thing. They have to know like, oh, we're going in the same direction. But in order for that to happen, you have to be the director of your own life, and like, what do you want to focus on? So this can be about like two ideas in regards to business, or just like there's something intellectually that you're having to choose an either or about, and you have to know that you need to be grounded in both horses are going to the same place, and you have that direction in your life. Before you tell the horses to go, you need to really ground yourself, and if needed, blind your ego mind and what you think you need to choose in order to actually have any direction in your life. This can potentially mean that you're the hermit. You have to like go into isolation in order to know what your drive is, like where you're going next. Because I'm getting like there's currently two paths that are opening up to you, and if you're not directing both of your horses to the same place where both of them know where they're going, then the horses are going to be erratic. And you have to be firm and foundational in what you want, because I don't ride horses anymore, but there was potentially a time when I was a teenager where I wanted my own horse, and my friend was selling her horse, and I tried to ride it, and just like, you have to be in sync with the horse. Horses are very intellectual, they're very instinctive, and so they know when their rider when there isn't a connection, when their rider doesn't know where they're going, or when their rider is anxious. They can feel that, and then in that sense the behavior of the horse matches the rider, where then their behavior is going to be erratic and anxious and fidgety, because if the rider doesn't know where they're going, then the horse isn't going to know where they're going. So you have to consider that with horses. That is something that I learned, where I was getting frustrated with the horse. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, but it's not like the horse was doing anything wrong. It was simply like following my energy, and I was anxious and I was nervous, and it wasn't the right time. Like, it wasn't something that I actually wanted. Like, I like the idea of it. So that might be like, you like that certain idea of something, but you really have to like listen to your body and direct your body to get direction in your life, because otherwise your horse is going to go that way, and it's just going to be a fucking mess. So we received the Ace of Vessels and the Knight of Vessels. Now, like I said, in regards to following your body, listening to your body and not your mind, in regards to making that choice in order to get that direction in your life with the Chariot, the Ace of Vessels is about major intuition and enlightenment, because the ace is exalting the big potential in you. So this is a good time for us to improve your intuition based on your internal balance. We got 2 swords and we got 2 horses in regards to the Chariot. So balance is really important for you in June 2024, Taurus. You will be able to connect to your inner self. So this is about connecting to your inner self and discovering the light of your inner God. Because when this card appears, it says you have the gift already in you, ready to be unlocked, and the way you choose to use it will help you to find your purpose in life. So this card also is a good omen in the spiritual sphere, giving you strength to pursue what you are looking for. A little more about the abstract symbolism in this card is that in alchemy, the hermetic vase is one of the most important items for the transformation of the elements. Being sealed, it symbolizes an internal transformation that transcends any physical change. But for that reason, consider that the vessels are no more than a depiction of yourself. As you are living the jug in which all transformations take place, as we can see with the dark reddish liquid that pours through the alembic signals that a cleaning is occurring, letting a splendorous sun to rise as a result. Red color is an indicator that the great alchemical is achieving an important stage in your life. And the rising sun is a symbol of a major understanding of your inner self. It is a resplendent sign of a spiritual awakening rising from the interior of ourselves. And what I find interesting is that with the Ace of Vessels, the Knight of Vessels is holding a vessel. So the Knight of Vessels is someone who is a peacemaker. He's communicative and supportive. So figuratively, the Knight of Vessels embodies an inspirational message that incites us to move forward. This new optimistic message gives us direction to go, so you must not ignore it. But in order for this to occur, this inner transformation, this inner enlightenment, alchemical rising and transformation in your life, it all comes from the inner, and basically blindfolding yourself to the outer in order to make a choice in your desire and a balance of knowing where you need to go in this transformation. So this is a good time for communication, seeking mental stimulation by interacting and helping others. As the Knight of Vessels, in his thirst for knowledge, he tries to learn as much as possible to favor future decisions and outrun possible obstacles. His confidence and knowledge are especially directed to solve conflicts, personal or external. He does have the gift of diplomacy and conflict resolution on how to approach things in life, constantly looking for balance as a peacemaker. This Knight is associated with air, and as we can see here, we have air, Two of Swords. So this is a very, right in June 2024, you are dealing with something that's very mental, and it's about really having that balance in yourself, and you're currently going through a very internal transformation. So this is about your mental abilities, revealing a great interest in the arts. And this is someone who might give you information or guide you through the right track to connect with your higher self. So this might be someone that comes into your life in order to provide that Ace of Vessels, as he is actually holding a vessel, Ace of Vessels, to an inner transformation, mirror reconnection with your higher self. You can see that he does have angel wings. So this might be someone that's a divine connection that comes in, or particularly a guide or a spiritual person or a spiritual teacher, is because it is a kind of messenger. So I feel right now you might receive a potential connection with someone who is someone who's there to provide a message for you, not in the sense like it's a love interest. There is a potential for you getting Taurus, that right in June 2024, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of like inner transformation and getting in your body, grounding yourself to one goal in order to like redirect your horses and ground your horses, be going to the same space, to the same place. Because and within the Suit of Vessels, within this deck, the Knight brings a passionate message from the White Queen to the Red King. So for that reason, he is exceptionally placed between them. Just like in our personal growth, you have to remember that balance is needed in our inner elements. So harmony is the key. And with the Chariot, I'm getting like it's bringing in your horses. It's pulling back on your horses and not fully like confining your horses to maybe slow down, so there's not this chaos and they're not just going wherever they want to go, but it's like pulling back that's what I'm trying to say. It's pulling back the reins in order to have that direction in your life and calmness, that you know where you need to go. And you have to remember that just because you know where you are going next doesn't mean it has to be speedy, doesn't mean having direction in your life doesn't mean it has to happen right away. You can slow down. When we know the direction our life is going, we can slow down. We can pull back the reins on our willpower, on our horses, our horsepower, and really enjoy the process of, and it's about like going inward for you, that inner transformation. And it's using that horsepower to focusing, both horses are focused on a goal, and one sword isn't higher than the other. There is this balance. So I'm getting like you will receive a message, or there will be a messenger in your life who might Bring a Ace of Vessels for that inner transformation, which will provide you balance and focus in what you are actually, a spiritual enlightenment that will ignite a spiritual enlightenment. And the sun is actually, even in astrology, the sun is about our identity, our connections, our purpose. It's about also what gives us joy, what gives us excitement in regards to the sun and tarot. And especially that we see all these children right here. The sun is about our childlike wonder and excitement of life. In June 2024, it's about that inner balance within yourself to get direction in your life, to transform.